Oh, dear little brother. I'll explain to you what Heartburn-Jesus is. Heartburn-Jesus is this all of y'all are displaying right now, where you harbor evil, sinister, sadistic, godless inside your heart, and you never speak of it. You speed, you lie, you cheat, you resent, you judge, you criticize, you racistly, whatever you want to call it, have hate in your heart for certain peoples, etc. While simultaneously, oh God, please convict them of their homosexuality. You remember that one? Crying about his gay brother. Like how about we cry about the way you XYZ, the way you hate fucking black people, or the way you speed, or the way you lie, cheat, and steal, or evade your fucking taxes, and blah blah blah. No heartburn for that one, but you get a whole lot of fucking heartburn for the God. Oh man, Ryan, you're speaking the ill of your wife. There's hate in your heart. That's heartburn, Jesus. Heartburn over sin that you find unpalatable, and not a lick of heartburn for the big ass plank and scales over your eyes for your sin. That's heartburn, Jesus. And y'all are heartburn, y'all Christians, not you Christians in general, the peasant, plebeian masses that I doubt even know God, but if they do, they barely understand him. Heartburn-Jesusers, sick and tired of sitting around and watching those do life and pretend they're on even my level, which, by the way, is 1% closer to Jesus. Y'all are 99.99999 repetent% away from God. That's how Christ-like all Christians are. And I'm 98.99999 repetent% away from Christ. I am well aware of how fucked up I am, and all other Christians on earth are tone deaf, heartburn Jesuser pieces who won't have a single piece of treasure in heaven. And I'm going to sit there and simply ask God, why the fuck did I have to be around these shit? Was I called for such a time as this? When the fuck else could I have existed and not have to deal with these peasants, these monkeys, Lord, these 1% further away from you, which is all it takes to make them unbearable pieces of what I'm talking about. And I'll send you a little video to help all of that drive my point home. You're going to see a little bit of Neil deGrasse Tyson, a black man who's brilliant, by the way, and explains to you the difference in the 99.99% Christians that all of y'all on earth, dating back to until the disciples walked the earth. Yeah, that's right. I'm more comparable to Peter and Paul and those people than any of y'all, all Christians. I think pretty much after God died and all the people he personally touched, Jesus on the cross, personally touched, we're dead and gone. Whatever Gen Z was left after he was completely away and out of their stories, that's what was left, the 99.9. And I'm the 98.9. And Neil deGrasse Tyson will explain that reality to all peasants and plebeians and apes that deign to think themselves my equal.
The smartest chimp does what our toddlers can do. And there's no way you will explain to a chimp, well, I have dinner ready at 6:30, can you pick up some juice on the way home? The simplest human thoughts are inconceivable to a chimp. And their talents are about what our toddlers can do. So let's get back to this 1% smarter alien that we've discovered. What would we look like to them? Well, they would roll Stephen Hawking forward after combing the human species, and they'd say, this one is slightly smarter than the rest because he can do astrophysics calculations in his head like little Timmy over here.